knock, knock, I'm on this. I'm hot, bitch, like a hot bitch. It's tough. I lock in, I got this. Radio, drop this. Hot shit, just watch this. I fucking promise. Roll it, do not miss. Your chance to cop this. Will you capture it or just let it slip? Oh shit, I wanna be in, cause my rap is tight. No, really, they just give a fuck that I ain't black and white. I'm not anyone else, man, I'm one of a kind. So sit back, relax, and listen one more time. I said I got this, none of this radio pop shit. I dropped this, turning back the clock to rock shit. I cop it, said knock, knock, I'm on this. I'm hot, bitch, like a hot bitch, the top lit. And I got this, none of this radio pop shit. I dropped this, turning back the clock to rock shit. I cop it, said knock, knock, I'm on this. I'm hot, bitch, like a hot bitch, the top lit. I love the girls that fuck with my music. Getting referrals from the girls, love to booze it. Party and lose it, that's the life I'm choosing. Not losing, that's my 2 cents, so use it. You know I'm back, as a matter of fact. I'm better than ever, never been better. I know that I wrote that. Sipping on some coke and no jack. Could stare and bitch and take a pic. Kodak, I threaten the game, cause money and fame, they don't affect my brain. It's fucking all the same. I'm sick of hearing about these Insta names with Insta fame. Take a pic, sick, you're lame. A quick fix to shame. You lick dick for fame. A thick chick is slain. A chick picked too late. I think I've gone insane. I think I've lost my brain. And honestly, I'm a motherfucking novelty. I said I got this, none of this radio pop shit. I dropped this, turning back the clock to rock shit. I cop it, said knock, knock, I'm on this. I'm hot, bitch, like a hot bitch, the top lit. And I got this, none of this radio pop shit. I dropped this, turning back the clock to rock shit. I cop it, said knock, knock, I'm on this. I'm hot, bitch, like a hot bitch, the top lit.
This is the Motor Cop Chronicles podcast with the midweek news. Join your hosts, Iceman and Holstera, 2 law enforcement professionals ready to offer their unfiltered opinions on the latest news from the world of law enforcement. No filters, no edits. So be warned, the content may be upsetting to some listeners. Sit down and hold up. This may get a little bumpy.
Welcome. Motor Cop Chronicles podcast, midweek news.
Hey, everybody.
Holstera, you might want to hold on your end when don't get messed up. For some reason, we're about 30 seconds behind. So
Really?
Yeah, it was lagging at first, but it's 30 seconds behind. I don't know why. I went live yesterday and everything worked fine. Of course, wouldn't be our podcast unless something was screwing up. So we're here.
That is true.
It's a little bit late, but we are here. I want to get the so let's go ahead and get the housekeeping out the way, and like and subscribe, hit the bells, share it. Please share it. Help us spread out. So far this month has been our largest downloaded on the audio podcast platform itself. Is
Giggity.
Never had a month quite this large. So hopefully we'll retain the people. That's what happens when your co-host finds his
My buttons.
his buttons. All right, so we're going to do that. Like I said, like and subscribe, write us a review. We'll shout it out to you. I do have some email I got sent to me. Pretty sure most of y'all have listened to the episode where we had Natasha on. I got an email from, I'm not going to say the person's name, of course, because I don't do that. And but he's in the same state as her. And we'll just say this is from GM. Says he's still loving the show. He says a quick note and last. He says Natasha got a little stuff confused, and if we're wrong, we're wrong, and I want to fix it. So, and it was basically on the gun law stuff. And he said he wanted to clarify it because As shitty as Washington is, and not quite as ludicrous as some things, she said, or whatever. First, Washington is an Washington State is an open carry state. He says He says he carries and pays very close attention to the laws. And he says, second of all, the SROs are allowed to carry firearms in schools. He said it may be the request of that school district or that school that they are unarmed. That does kind of make sense. And if that is the case, and if I was an SRO and I was in a school out there and they said, and the school district said, we don't want you armed, I wouldn't be working in that school. I'm sorry. I'm not walking in uniform unarmed. And he said, but it's not a state regulation. So it must be from county to county or district to district out there. He said he is trying to be a deputy sheriff, and he hangs out with a few local cops and deputies. So he keeps up with the bullshit that the state puts him through. He did say, I want to say, he says he knows I don't give a shit about Washington. He's just an active listener, and he hates it when something's wrong. I appreciate it. Don't mind being fact-checked whatsoever. Something's misspoke.
Well, wait a second now.
It's misspoke.
So I'm seeing this, and it says Senate Bill 5038 will be considered by the Senate Law and Justice Committee as drafted. The bill makes it a crime to openly carry on the person or in a vehicle a firearm or other weapon if the person is participating in or attending a demonstration in public places. Oh, so you just can't carry it open whenever you're out, like
demonstration,
and murdering.
Yeah, stuff like that. So anyway, I appreciate it, Gavin. I'm sure Natasha will appreciate it that now she knows she can open carry out there and stuff also without having a permit, I guess. She have to have a permit to conceal carry. You have to have one here. I think there's only a couple, like maybe Texas or something like that you don't have to have a permit to conceal carry. I'm not sure which state it is.
Here's some breaking news that had just pulled up. Washington's Inslee signs trio of gun bills 3 hours ago, including the ban on sale of high-capacity magazines. Yeah. So that might be changing rapidly.
Well, never mind. I don't ever mind being fact-checked. I'd rather
He don't, I do.
get it right than have it wrong. So I appreciate it a lot. And it's that I don't I feel like I don't hate the state of Washington, or I don't not give a shit about it.
I do.
It's the state of Washington. I don't like most of the places. I don't want to say. I think Chicago or New York would probably be a decent place if they get different politicians.
What the fuck?
Can
Somebody kidnapped my co-host.
Can I finish now? I'm on mute. I'm about to mute his mic. If they let law enforcement, like when Giuliani was the mayor over there, the city was actually becoming a safe place and getting cleaned up, and it was not that bad. It all goes to who's running the city and how they'll let which criminals do what. So any place can be cleaned up. But I apologize if you think I hate your state. I don't hate your state. I hate what they're doing in your state. So we're going to get on to the other. I'm going to just mute him completely, and he's just going to be sitting there with his lips moving in a little bit, not saying a word.
Hey, did you know 5 out of 6 people enjoy Russian roulette?
Stay off the crack pipe. Stay off the
hear me?
crack pipe. I'm ignoring you.
That was actually a fact from a listener.
I know. I read the same one.
You were just fucking waiting for it.
So, well, we're going to start out with the news stories.
The 400 ballistics vest?
Nope. Yeah.
Starting off with a text message first? Okay.
No. First of all, I'm starting out with this. If y'all remember the episode with JoJo sent an email the other day and said, this is what she saw. Here's a picture. I'm going to pull it up right here. This is what she saw on her way into where she works at. She does plants and she got a degree and stuff in that. But if you look real close, there's like 3 kangaroos out there.
They all wanted a hug.
Wrote her back telling her, bam, we probably want to go pet them and give them a hug. She's like,
I want to jump in her pouch.
that would not be a very good idea. That she said they're not usually aggressive unless they feel frightened or intimidated, so just don't make eye contact. I just couldn't imagine going in and like, shoot, kangaroo, leave. But anyway, it's cool that she sent the picture from Australia on her way into work, and there was 3 kangaroos just hanging out there at the front of it.
I think they're a nuisance there. Like, People hit them with their fucking car and shit like
probably
moose or
like
deer.
armadillos or something around here. I don't know. We think they're.
But you can't do away with them. I mean, Australia fought an entire damn war against kangaroos and lost.
Well, I know they kangaroo meat is a thing. I've eaten a kangaroo burger, so it is a thing. So go ahead and start us off with the stolen bulletproof vest.
You sure this is the right podcast? About 400 ballistics vests donated to the Ukraine, stolen in New York City. About 400 used bullet resistant vests aren't that good. About 400 used ballistic vests that were collected for donations to people in Ukraine from law enforcement agencies have been stolen in the city of New York, according to Fox News. Oh shit! Now the Hug-a-Thugs are going to have fucking protection. The vests were removed from a building in the East Village neighborhood of Manhattan sometime overnight between Tuesday and Wednesday. The New York Post reported, "It is despicable that someone would break into a building to steal supplies and materials intended to aid those affected by this humanitarian crisis." Vicky Someshit, a spokeswoman for the Suffolk County Sheriff's Office, which has made a large donation of vests last week, told WABC TV of New York City. Security camera footage from a next-door business showed 3 vans pulling up outside, so this was not a small operation. The building, one after another, with men in hoods calmly and casually carrying out boxes believed to be containing the vest and loading them into the vehicle, then driving away. The vests were intended to be sent to medical workers and humanitarian aid volunteers in Ukraine. You know as well as I do, that 7.62 is not going to be stopped by a regular PD vest.
No, but it might slow it down. It might grab some shrapnel or something like that. Also, it almost has to be maybe an inside job or something, because, I mean, somebody had to know that they were there. And
you just tell me that building with that much equipment in it wasn't secured?
And you got to have, they just didn't throw that many vests in the back of their car in the trunk or something. So they had to come prepared for that. They didn't start looking for inside job there.
Yeah.
Yes, Dan's saying the same thing. He said somebody tipped him off. It has to be an inside job. There's a lot of bulletproof vests out there, though. Like I said, it's not going to stop a rifle round. It takes a whole different.
Yeah, that's what I don't understand about shipping to the Ukraine. I mean, that's basically our vests are designed to stop small caliber arms. 9s, 45, I think all the way up to the 357 Magnum. But anything with a lot of velocity, like a 223 round, we got to have plates for.
Yeah, well, like I said, I guess some protection's better than none. Might help against some shrapnel or something like that with bombs going off or something. Like I said, something's better than nothing.
That's true. It's true. It's like video games when your hat is like a level 1, you upgrade to a level 2 hat. Supposedly it's better.
Dude's going straight up nerd on me right now.
Oh, we play video games together. Shut up.
Yeah, I haven't played in a long time.
I just got a PS5. I even plugged the son of a bitch in.
I believe my PS4's went kaput anyway. Last time I tried to use it, it had a 0 sound on it. So that is what it is on that one. This next story, we are going to shoot over to the great state or city of New York City. New York, the police defunded New York City's crime is on the rise. A man, 35-year-old, there's actually 2 stories in this one. I found another one. I got a video on it. But a man that was 35 years old punched a 92-year-old woman in the back of the head, knocking her to the ground as she was outside, I guess, at an open-air restaurant reading the menu.
That's not nice.
That is some messed up shit right there, that a 35-year-old man would punch a 92-year-old lady. This happened in Manhattan, New York.
Yeah, but didn't it happen last week with the African-American guy that attacked the Asian woman?
Yeah.
The same thing? She was an elderly Asian woman?
I believe that was in New York. The defunded New York City, visitors and residents alike, are the daily victims of random vicious attacks by homeless and heartless who roam the streets. It's not just homeless. Because the next story we're going to have, you're going to be like, what the hell? And they roam the streets, securing the knowledge they will not have justice served to them. Basically, they'll get arrested, and they just let them out of jail or write them a ticket. Thursday afternoon, on the tree-lined streets of the wealthy and safe Upper West Side, an elderly woman was randomly punched in the head while she was looking at the menu outside of Manny's Bistro. The woman, who did not want to be identified, said she is 92 years old. She said, "Suddenly I got a terrible bang on the back of my head. I thought something had fallen on me." The New York Police Department officers arrested a 35-year-old man for the horrific attack several blocks away. The victim said she was standing on the sidewalk looking at the menu when she was punched in the back of the head. She did not see her attacker, but the restaurant owner, Manuel Colin, did and followed him. I guess he saw what happened. He followed him, called the cops. He called 911.
At least he wasn't blowing a whistle.
Yeah, well, that's Chicago. They blow whistles, I believe. Colin said he stayed a few paces behind the bad guy, and he watched him, and he was harassing other people on the street. And said the man was identified as Enrique Luze, I don't know how to say his last name, 35. He was unsteady on his feet and appeared to be intoxicated. Go figure. I just kept keeping an eye on him in case he tried to attack somebody else. So, I mean, at least the guy followed him. I know how I am. If I'd have seen that happen, I would have jumped on his ass right then and there. And
like a rabid spider monkey.
Yeah. Anyway, he got arrested. He said he is a resident of New Brighton on Staten Island. He was charged with one count of assault. It is not known if he was released after being booked. The suspect was previously arrested for DWI.
You remember that movie, The Punisher?
The old lady said she is feeling okay and stuff, and she most likely going to be fine. Yes, I do remember.
These cities are causing that kind of shit. Eventually, one day, somebody's going to step up and go, I'm just going to start killing them because the cops won't keep them in jail. Well, it ain't the cops, it's the DA. We all know that. But
that's the problem. The cops would gladly arrest them, but they're not letting them do it.
But yeah, before you're even done with the report, they're already back out on the fucking street.
This next one right here, this one's out of New York too. There's a video. So I say there's a video if it pops up for me.
Woman shoved to the ground in Chelsea. Barbara Gustern later died from her injuries.
Now, nearly 2 weeks later, a 26-year-old woman has surrendered to New York cops. But the big question tonight, why did she do this?
Eyewitness News reporter NJ Burkett is live in Chelsea with more. NJ?
Today, of course, that is the big question that Bill is asking. Why did she do it? What led up to this horrible incident that, of course, captivated the city? And when you talk to...
Now, when we get to the part where we see who got arrested and who did it, I was like, yeah, I didn't see that coming at all. It's like she wasn't homeless looking or anything. It's kind of messed up.
People about this whole situation. It's elderly people in the city who feel this newfound sense of vulnerability. But yes, a suspect was arraigned here moments ago. A single count of manslaughter, 2 counts of second-degree assault. Prosecutor said in open court that she actually fled to her parents' home on Long Island in the days after the incident and then apparently hid there until there was an anonymous tip to police, which prompted her surrender in New York this morning.
Lauren Pazienza hid her face behind her long red hair and said nothing as she was led from the 10th precinct after surrendering to NYPD detectives. But onlookers had plenty to say.
Horrible, absolutely horrible. How do you shove an old lady? How do you shove anybody?
We feel victimized. We feel easily victimized. And I began to feel vulnerable.
Ms. Pazienza's face was practically everywhere for nearly 2 weeks.
There's a young, I think she's, 20-something years old or something?
How did she only get manslaughter if shoving her was the result of a murder?
No, she pushed her down, and they're going to say it on here. They pushed her down, and I believe she hit her head on the ground or something. I think she just shoved her, and she must have fell down and hit her head. I think it says in here, I believe she ended up passing away from a traumatic brain injury. But, I mean, look at her. I mean, look at her. She don't look like she would be.
Yeah, but that'd be aggravated battery with great bodily harm. That's murder.
Some states got different laws for some reason. You know how they charged one person with 3 murders on one person. So
yeah, that is true.
So.
Ever since she was seen on surveillance video leaving the crime scene where the victim lay bleeding on the sidewalk. Barbara Gustern was 87 years old and suffered a traumatic brain injury after witnesses told police she was shoved to the pavement by a young woman who called her an offensive name that begins with the letter B. AJ Gustern is the victim's grandson.
Yeah, bitch.
She crossed the street, shouted something derogatory at my grandmother and pushed her down, and then fled across the street and just fled.
The motive was still not clear late this afternoon, and sources say the 2 women did not know one another. Ms. Gustern was a beloved vocal coach who trained 3 generations of singers, many of whom performed on Broadway. She was on her way to a performance when she was shoved and died 5 days later. Lauren Pazienza's family lives in Port Jefferson, Long Island, but she maintains an address in Astoria, Queens. She worked most recently for a high-end French furniture designer. For days, AJ Gustern says he tried to imagine who the suspect would turn out to be.
To be honest, I'm white hot today. I've been trying to give this woman the benefit of the doubt. And it seems to me like this woman comes from a similar background. Like what really got to me was finding pictures of her smiling in art galleries, dressed nicely with other people.
Defense attorney Arthur Idella.
They're absolute strangers, and whether it was a push or whether it was a shove or whether it was a kick or whether someone tripped, the evidence is not very solid on that at all. So we'll see what happens.
Ms. Pazienza was distraught at times in court. She's apparently engaged to be married in June. Her parents were in court today, but they did not comment as they left the building. The judge ordered a psychiatric examination, and she is ordered held on $500,000 bail tonight. Live tonight in Lower Manhattan. NJ Burkett, Channel 7 Eyewitness News.
That kid in Texas shot that whole fucking school up and didn't even fucking get that kind of bail.
Look at me. I'm doubled up for some reason. Don't know why that's happening.
I don't see you doubled up. Oh, there you go.
You will. There I am. $500,000 bail. I mean, at least they actually put the right amount of bond on this woman. It's just, I just wonder what type of people, what goes through your mind that you would push down some old lady?
I don't know. I really don't. You know damn well, I mean, somebody could say something that'll just trip you off. I mean, younger people are more likely to fly off the handle than more mature people.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. So how old they said she was? 27? Did they say how old she was?
Yeah, she was young, like 23 or 27, but it says called her a name that started with the letter B.
Yeah. I mean,
what is this, Sesame Street?
Yeah, it wasn't big. It wasn't Bravo or Beautiful, I'm sure. I just would, I have no idea what's going on in this younger generation's heads that they would want to hurt old people.
Well, I sent you that thing earlier about that kid crying because, you know, we're not flying over there to start war with Russia, the wrong podcast, but he was screaming like he needed a safe space.
I wonder how this woman was raised. I'd love to see her parents.
Probably loaded, very privileged.
Probably so. I wouldn't doubt it.
Convicted felon charged with attempted murder after attacking cop with a baseball bat, trying to bash in his head. Oh no, you shoot him. Yeah, that's a deadly weapon. You gonna play that video or you ain't got it?
No, I got it. You just jumped right on into it before I was ready.
In a Walmart.
Number 2. Nope. Number 3.
Count Chocula over here.
This one on.
What?
The sound will pick up in a minute.
Hey there, man. Can we just sit down for a second and talk about what's going on? Yeah. Drop the bat. Drop the bat. Drop the bat. Two 6-1 cover now. 1 for 245 on a police officer with a bat. I want to kill you, bro. I want to fucking kill you. I'll kill you, bro.
This guy, that guy right there, he'd been arrested before. This wasn't his first run in. He'd been arrested before. I had read they had some more in there for being violent against the police. Also, this guy's definitely got a history. They got called there because he was in Walmart, basically shoplifting and stuff. He stole a bat and stuff out of there.
I'm sorry, but instantly taser. He's got a deadly weapon, taser.
I think he was too close and the dude come at him too quick. He didn't have anything in his hands at the time.
Got two hands, one taser, one gun.
He had to block the bat from hitting him in the head. I mean, he was too close. He was within that reactionary gap. I mean, you seen how quick the guy got up on him like that.
Yeah.
I mean, I think he did good for blocking it and putting the dumbass in jail. So, okay.
Oh, I was answering a message.
Oh.
I got it. Oh, by the way, while you're doing that, the hell did I get into the other day?
Anyway, he's in jail. Should stay in jail for
a while, at least 5 years.
He's yeah, but you know how it goes. He's a previous convicted felon. They charged him with attempted murder after he attacked the cop with a baseball bat. This happened in Carjacking, California. So he's in custody after trying to hit him in the head. It happened on March the 4th. They responded to the Walmart over there just before 4 p.m. for a reported man trying to steal sporting goods. Guess he wanted to go play.
Oh, so did he steal the bat?
Yeah. I mean,
sounds like it.
Wasn't just walking around with it. The loss prevention officer at Walmart had alleged that the suspect was threatening customers and employees while trying to steal multiple items inside the store. So he's probably threatening them with the bat also.
Probably.
Yeah, okay.
I'm okay.
We're doing, he was 26 years old. His name was Julian Sebastian Carracco. Of course, we saw him exiting the store with the bat. The officer, if you listen to him when he was up there, he was telling the dude, look, let's sit down, talk about it. Because a lot of times these Walmarts will, like, we got our stuff back, trespass them, just tell me he can't come back here no more. Like I said, sometimes they don't even press charges. It's like, don't come back anymore. If you come back again, and you do, we're definitely going to put you in jail. So that's probably what the cop was thinking. Well, it didn't work out like that. Of course, he refused to sit down and tried to hit the cop. I mean, he was right there on top of him. I believe that's why he didn't have time. He didn't have time to pull his weapon out. He'd already had to have his weapon out at the time, or taser, to try to do anything with it. He'd have been totally justified in shooting him if he would have had it out.
And it never would even hit the news.
And you
know why.
You'd have heard him. No, I don't think he wanted the cop to shoot him, Jennifer. I just think he's a dumb idiot.
Hey, did you know the first Burger King was opened in Miami, Florida in 1954?
Nobody's listening.
Everybody's listening.
He said that he suffered some minor injuries, and after he got released from the jail hospital, they did book him in for the attempted murder charge. But it wasn't his first time. He was convicted also before of fighting with the cops before also. So hopefully this piece of shit, that dude, will be locked up for a while. He's just an idiot. Next time he may catch the wrong end of that gun, because I guarantee you that the cop that was there is going to be a whole lot more gun shy. I mean, bat shy. Can't say gun shy of it at all. And this next one, we're still in California.
Yep. 3 California men charged in the shooting death of a former police officer who was protecting a news crew. I'll be damned. Oh, here we go. Wonderful Oakland, California. When California's plague of smash and grab crimes turned deadly in November, the progressive attitude that they were victimless crimes was shown to be fair, terribly false. They are not victimless crimes for the store owners who see their livelihoods being drained of cash and property. Not for the customers who are threatened with violence and terrorized by thugs with weapons they aren't legally allowed to possess. And certainly not for Kevin Nishida, a former police officer who was shot and killed by the criminals while he was protecting a news crew that was reporting on the smash and grab crime. Shadida Mitchell, Herschel Hale, and Laren Gilbert were charged by Alameda County DA with the murder of Kevin Nishida. Mitchell and Hale are in custody. OPD is asking for the public's help in locating Gilbert. If you have any information, call Oakland. I don't know why I just opened Twitter. I don't even have a Twitter. On March 17th, the Oakland Police Department announced that 3 men identified as gang members have been charged with the murder in the November 24th shooting of Nishida, the former San Jose police officer that was shot in the abdomen as the suspect attempted to rob the KRON TV news team of its camera equipment. He died 3 days later in the hospital.
That's the 3 guys up there. As y'all can see, I put up. That's the 3 fellas. Of course, if you can hear from his name, I'm going to apologize. I had a picture of the man that was shot and killed. I forgot to put it up, but he is of Asian descent, as you can tell from his name. But these 3 guys here killed this man for what reason?
Because they wanted to burn, loot, and murder.
So it's just getting ridiculous. I said I just did that one thing yesterday from all the Louisiana stuff, and there's still more. There's more that come out today. It's plumb ridiculous. Anyway, these 3 piece of shit dirtbags right here.
Derp, derpity, derp, derp.
Don't do that. I'm gonna get copyrighted.
Copyrighted.
Hopefully they rot in jail, but it's California. Unfortunately, they probably gave him a teddy bear, chocolate chip cookie. Well, I don't know. It's California. They probably gave him a teddy bear, a keto-friendly cookie, and I don't know, a vegan carrot. I don't know.
Oh, no, that'd be worse than anything. You give me vegan meals, I'd die.
So, well, anyway, like I said, they deserve to probably go to prison for the rest of their life or be put on death penalty. But, nope, they'll probably end up getting out.
I'm telling you, Whoppers are delicious.
Yeah.
Cheese.
You like possum.
It's better than the fried chicken dicks you enjoy.
We got the next one coming up. We got these 3 fellas in here. This is an older story. It came out. This is a police officer that was murdered on her way to her car. The boyfriend murdered her, and now, I believe it's the boyfriend that was with her is boohooing. He says, "I am being treated unfairly." Accused cop killer complains that the defense lawyers keep dropping his case. Well, my heart goes out. This is actually from Louisiana also, up in Shreveport. The man accused of pulling the trigger in the shooting death of a Shreveport police officer complains that the public defenders keep abandoning him.
Motherfucker looks like Kevin Hart next to her.
I'm sorry. No, not quite. In a letter, the accused killer also told the Caddo district attorney that he is being denied access to evidence against him. How do you he goes from killing this police officer, this woman who I think he was engaged to or dating, to now he's the fucking victim. Trayvon Anderson. I see him next to her, right over here also.
A little guy.
29 years old, has been charged with second-degree murder for the January 9th, 2019 shooting. Death of 22-year-old Shreveport officer, I don't know how to say her name, Shatari Payne. As she walked towards her police car, it says police cat, but I'm pretty sure it means police car to leave for work. Says she was shot at least 4 times with at least 1 round striking her in the head.
Jesus.
Anderson, Lawrence, and Lawrence Pierre II and Glenn Montrell Farrison were these three pieces of shit up here were all arrested in connection with the slaying. They have been held on charges of second-degree murder. The three have all pled not guilty to the shooting. The co-defendants are scheduled for trial next month in April. Anderson, Mr. Fuckface right here and over there with her, was the boyfriend, her boyfriend, and shot her multiple times. He was implicated by his cousin, Pierre, man right next to him right here.
Why the fuck?
He's like, man, fuck you. Who said he witnessed the shooting. Anderson and Payne lived together and had a 2-year-old daughter. So now they got a 2-year-old that's without her mom, and dad probably didn't have much to do with her anyway. I mean, he's a piece of shit. Killed his
what the fuck
girlfriend and the mother to his child. Pierre admitted to detectives that he was present when Payne was shot and hid the murder weapon, a .40 caliber handgun. Police said Pierre hid the murder weapon and led them to it after they began questioning him. Pierre, 21, was a deputy clerk of court at the Cato Juvenile Court. Farrison, 38, was also implicated by Pierre. He told police that Farrison, this guy all the way over here right there, accompanied him to the scene of the crime and left with him after Payne was killed.
Getaway driver.
Yeah, basically. Court documents detailed a volatile relationship between Anderson and Payne. Family told police that Payne was planning to end her relationship with Anderson at the time of the shooting. That's probably what instigated it. In the February 17th letter to the district attorney, James Stewart, Anderson requested copies of the evidence the state intended to use against him at trial. Anderson claimed he was told there was too much evidence and his public defender did not want to pay the fees required. Anderson wrote, "Mr. Stewart, I am fighting for my life." Well, kind of like she was when you fucking shot her in the head. I love this word. I'm entitled to see the evidence against me, but I still haven't seen it yet. All I want is this trial to be fair and for the truth to come out. I have been getting treated unfairly since the beginning of this. I can't even face my accuser because we are on a joint trial and that's my legal right. Your accuser, I think she would be deceased.
Yeah.
He also argued that he had gone through 7 different public defenders because they all got off my case because it was so high profile and political.
And a conflict of interest.
They probably got off your case probably because you're a whiny little bitch who fucking thinks you know everything. That's probably why they
Same reason he killed his girlfriend.
Yeah. The public defenders all got off my case. I haven't even had effective counsel to represent me and review the case. You know what? Why don't you get your family to hire you a fucking attorney then? Why don't you do that?
Because if my son shot his girlfriend at point blank range, I'm not sure I would hire him an attorney.
Oh, I'm sure his family's like, he was a good kid. He was getting his life together. He was actually on his way to church and he didn't shoot her. And, he was actually going to help the homeless before he went to church that day. It's like, I'm going to trial in the blind. The justice system is supposed to be fair for all parties involved. I'm sorry, I don't feel sorry for this motherfucker whatsoever. This is not the first time Anderson has written a letter to the district attorney. I'm just glad at least he knows how to fucking write. He previously wrote to say he would accept a plea deal in the case. He offered to plead guilty if the state agreed to certain conditions. Now he's trying to dictate.
Yeah, DAs don't like that shit.
He's trying to tell them, look, you do that, I'll plead guilty to this. Yeah, they don't like that. They probably like, fuck you. He later wrote a letter to the district attorney complaining about the plea offer, though he's complaining about the plea that he offered them. What, it was unfair? Your own plea offer was unfair? This is a self-entitled, narcissistic motherfucker right here. Complaining that the second-degree murder charge offered was the same charge he was originally charged with. They're like, okay, we'll offer you a second-degree murder charge. That's what you already charged. Yep, that's your option. How is that a plea deal when that's what I'm charged with? If convicted of second-degree murder, the 3 men face a life term in prison without the benefit of probation, parole, or the reduction of sentence.
Yeah, first is death penalty, ain't it?
Yeah, first degree in Louisiana is the death penalty. Second degree is life without the possibility of her getting out. This dude right here, he's writing the district attorney. Oh, that's not fair. This ain't fair. Motherfucker, well, what's fair? With that woman that gave birth to your child, and you fucking shot her in the head. You know what? He can say, oh, everybody can say, oh, he's innocent until proven guilty. And then, okay. Well,
let me tell you.
Whatever. I guarantee you.
Angola prison ain't that bad.
I guarantee you that this motherfucker's guilty, okay? He's fucking guilty. He saw it. He's the getaway driver. But this guy's like, oh, fuck you. I'm not taking this murder rap. They probably get him with accessory. He'll probably end up cutting a deal and get like 40 or 50 years. But this motherfucker right here, no. There's a special place in hell for people like that. And now he's being a whiny little bitch about it. Fuck that dude.
Kristen is dealing with some stuff.
Who's dealing with some stuff? Me?
No. Christian asked where Freebird was.
Oh. Yeah, you write that and sick and twisted. Yeah, he needs to go to Angola. Where's Freebird? Freebird, not secret. Freebird is belongs to the Mason and Shriners and stuff like that. And they had one of his fellow Masons has passed away. I don't know the man, but he is attending his funeral tonight. It's where he is paying his respects to that man. That's where he's at.
I swear we just covered that. Woman killed, arm ripped from the body in mid carjacking.
I sent it to you, but we didn't talk about it.
Gotcha. Let's go ahead.
I got video.
Oh fuck! Well, I haven't got to read it then. Everybody enjoy the show.
Well, video is good to have. Got 2 videos on it. I'll say, I don't know what happened there neither. I don't know why this thing's not. There we go. Nope. Wrong one. There we go.
Austin Northcott knew something was wrong in his mid-city neighborhood.
I heard screaming like you're about to die sort of scream, like one you don't hear. It's just not a normal scream.
Those screams were from a 73-year-old woman across the street who police say was carjacked and dragged to death by her own SUV. Witnesses say it happened when a vehicle pulled up next to her parked SUV on North Scott Street.
It's just heartbreaking to see that.
Witnesses say the woman was caught in her seatbelt and dragged as her SUV sped off on Bienville Avenue, just steps away from Mark and Leanne Mascar's front door.
I just started screaming and running because I just wanted to get this person from this car. And if I could do that, I could help this person.
Police say the woman's arm eventually detached from her body on North Pierce Street, freeing her from the SUV. Neighbors ran over to try and help.
She was still breathing. She was very slowly breathing.
I tried to call 911. Unfortunately, the phone rang for over 4 minutes and 45.
Damn. That's because Precious was there.
Yeah, it sounds like it. This is so fucked up right here. That first of all, this old lady gets carjacked. She gets hung up in there, and these kids take off with her. And I say kids because I'm going to show you the video. They show video, but not of her getting dragged. They cut it.
She lived long enough to feel her arm be ripped from its socket.
Could you imagine what it must feel like to have one of your body parts ripped from your body while you're still alive like that?
No, it's ungodly. Then, I think they need to do it to the carjackers.
Then this man right here calls 911, and the phone rings for 4 minutes, and nobody fucking answers the phone at 911.
Come on now, you know the caliber of people they hire.
Come on, though. I mean, Jesus. I mean, 4 minutes. That is totally unacceptable in anybody's standards.
5 seconds before I hung up from 911.
I want to listen to it.
The phone rang for over 4 minutes and 45 seconds before I hung up from 911.
It took 10 to 15 minutes.
So don't tell me he don't know exactly. He knows that 4 minutes and 45 seconds. He knows exactly how long he was waiting, and nobody answered, and he hung up.
Hell, in that amount of time, you could have threw her in the car and drove her to the hospital. Holy shit.
And they still didn't answer.
It's for paramedics to get there.
She's still breathing. I can feel a pulse. And the anger was like, where the hell is the ambulance? You know, we were there, and I kept hearing loads of police cars turn up, but no ambulance.
When it did, paramedics pronounced the woman dead, leaving folks in this neighborhood horrified and police searching for 4 suspects.
They didn't just see them. Teenagers. Look at them. They're one of them fucking teenagers. Look like girls, too.
See the car, they murdered someone today.
I mean, it's Monday at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. It's not, everybody's out getting lunch, not worried about, you know, whether or not they're going to live or not.
It was one of the most grotesque, surreal, horrific things I've ever seen. Complete recklessness, abandon, no regard for human life.
About 15 blocks away, on the corner of Dumaine and North Dupree, police found the SUV abandoned in the Bayou St. John neighborhood. 2 crime scenes, adding to a growing list of deadly violence in New Orleans.
In the end, it's just the criminals that are ruining it for everyone who lives here.
There is something really wrong when you have to walk outside your house and that is part of your day, that some woman is getting dragged down the street.
Mike McDaniel.
That's exactly right, Roy.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still, you know, this lady lost her life because somebody wanted these kids were too fucking lazy to walk or something like that. Steal her car. They ripped her arm was ripped from her body. That's just got to be horrific, right?
I mean,
nobody.
It's a shame nobody knew how to apply a tourniquet because I'm sure she just bled out.
Well, her being aged, she was good chance she probably had a heart attack during this whole process also, which probably did not help it.
No,
but it's just. I'm going to show you the video. They released the video. I think they have made arrests in it. Of course, they're juveniles, so we don't have no names and stuff like that. Jesus. So let's get over to that one.
Yeah, it's a reminder, people, make sure your doors are locked anytime you're inside of your vehicle.
You can see all of them. There's 3 of them right here walking down the street. It's like they're looking for something. She must be sitting in her car. They go back. Look, this other car's coming. You see them cars coming, and this one turned around. Like, okay, let's. They think that. Look, watch them. They saw her sitting in her car. Look, the car's coming. They turn around. Him, her, whatever the fuck it is. They leave out there out of the camera, and they come back. Short time later, you'll see them. I mean, then this one comes running from I don't know where, probably a lookout or something. They just jump in the car like, okay, let's go. The other side, they probably pulling the woman out. They said they'll cut it before. They're not going to show this poor lady being dragged down the road to her death. But, I mean, it's like they ain't even in that big of a hurry. Cars going by and shit. And they start pulling off. I guess this one didn't go. I don't know. That right there is just every one of those kids should be locked up in Angola for the rest. Well, me personally, I think they ought to be. You do a firing squad.
No, you remember the old days? They take a horse on both sides of your arms and rip your arms off.
Yeah, they could do that too.
Yeah, I agree with that. A little eye for eye, a tooth for a tooth. You want to do that to people? We'll do it to you. Fuck you mean Roy's moving to Louisiana?
Yeah, that's right, Dan. It's just, but these kids, you have children like this. Again, people will get tired of hearing me say it. Again.
Arrest the parents.
Arrest the parents. Put the parents in jail too.
Rip their arms off too.
If these kids are all juveniles, put the parents in jail too. Every time a juvenile commits a crime like this, they need to go to jail too.
Yep.
Because obviously parents are not raising their children with any kind of respect, human dignity, morals, or anything anymore. Nothing. These kids are being raised on fucking rap videos, YouTube, and fucking whoever.
Their grandmas and the devil are raising them.
So it's just horrific. I bet you don't want to go back to New Orleans again, do you there?
Who, me?
Yeah.
I'd love to go to New Orleans. Of course, I carry a gun everywhere I go, so.
I'm just saying, though. I mean, it's ridiculous. You shouldn't have, you know what, we shouldn't have, people shouldn't have to live like that. And if you looked at the video, it's not a bad neighborhood. You got 4 fucking little thug-ass kids.
Hey, can I squeeze in a story?
Shit. I don't know. It depends on what you're going to squeeze.
What you want with a squeeze there. Never mind. Unacceptable number of fights, Pasco superintendent says. Students now face expulsion for fighting. This is also the same county. Well, it's my county. But the one where they had the race riot, or not the race riot, but the LGBTQ riot. Apparently the fights are just like hundreds of fights a week. The number of fights has reached an alarming level, Kurt Browning said. Pasco County, Florida, the Pasco County School District is issuing a stern warning to students about fighting. Going forward, students could face expulsion if they engage in fights, physical attacks, battery, or physical abuse, or disruptive acts, which disruptive acts here in the state of Florida is a felony at a learning facility. I acknowledge that there has been an unacceptable number of fights and disruptions in our schools, said Kurt Browning, superintendent of Pasco County Schools. He addressed students, staff, and parents in a video message on Tuesday. He did. About the ongoing concerns regarding fights in the classroom on buses in Pasco County. For the vast majority of students and parents, this message is intended to let you know that I have heard the concerns from teachers, leaders, students, and parents, said Browning. The district is now issuing a stern warning to students about the repercussions going forward. For the small but significant amount of students who engage in fights or serious misbehaviors, this message is a warning that failure to behave appropriately in the schools will result in serious consequences, said Browning. So basically in the past, the schools have just kind of let you get away with whatever you want. You remember back when you were in middle school and high school, you probably never would have dreamed of telling your teacher, fuck you. Well, this is what happens for the past 5-6 years. They've allowed that, saying that's freedom of speech.
What?
Yes. You can walk into class and your teacher say, get your number 2 pencils ready for the test. And you could basically look at her and say, go fuck yourself, Miss So-and-so. And that was protected under freedom of speech. They usually say, please don't do that.
No, that would have gotten me sent to the principal's office, got 5 licks suspended.
And then sent home to get the same.
Then I'd have got home and got hit a whole lot worse than when I did at school. That's what's wrong, Corporal. Everybody's like, oh, don't whip the poor little babies.
And, of course, you know, they have a dress code, but then you pull up to the wonderful pickup line and you see these girls walking around with the TikTok yoga britches.
Really?
You know? Yeah, oh, yeah, with their asses and shit, like the little belly shirts. Yep. But yet they have a school dress code. They just don't enforce it because, you know.
Why do we need rules?
Yeah, exactly. So then you wonder why it escalates into physical violence. No shit. If you keep getting away with it, you're eventually going to do the next bad thing. So we'll see if he actually follows through with this shit and actually kicks kids out of school. I seriously fucking doubt it. But we'll see. What's next?
This next one here is refund the police people, the activists, defund the police people.
Refund the police.
Yeah, the defund the police people are pissed off because the police are getting refunded. Activists, this is from the Law Enforcement Today. It says activists are absolutely outraged that as crime explodes in the city, police department will be getting refunded. I mean, because that's such a fucking it's such a horrible thing. Can you believe it?
It makes sense.
Kansas City, Missouri. The Kansas City Police Department will reportedly be getting $269 million in the upcoming fiscal year. But not everyone is thrilled about this. According to the news report, the police department's funding outpaces all other city agency, includes an extra $33 million. That's because now they got to try to play catch up for all the shit y'all got rid of. State law.
That ain't the next story I have.
That's because I added this one.
Oh, okay.
State law requires that the police department received at least 20% of the city's general fund, but Kansas City residents and politicians are disputing on how that extra $33 million should be utilized. Mayor Quentin Lucas wants to use that extra money to create a community policing and prevention fund. However, residents such as John Simpson, a member of the local social justice organization, More Too, don't think the police should get any money. He complained about the crime rate in police department.
What?
We keep putting more and more money into officers. Our crime rate doesn't really change. And we still have a police department that doesn't measure up. Y'all cut their budget last year, and y'all ran off all kind of cops. The mayor's funding proposal would go toward increasing salaries and hiring more officers who would focus on community outreach and crisis intervention. Hiring more people.
You probably remember that.
Such a
Back
horrible
in the day,
thing.
you remember when we were actually able to walk through neighborhoods or get to sit there and talk to somebody and get to talk to the citizens in the community instead of going call to call to call to call to call?
Yep.
God.
A lot of these, especially these big areas, it's hard to community police because, especially if you're shorthanded and they're so busy, the police have become reactionary, which they're just call takers and reacting to the crime. They're not out actually being proactive, which helps prevent the crime.
Oh, yeah. If they're afraid that you're going to stop by and hang out at the local cookout, they're not going to do a drive-by there. It's the worst time.
It says nearly $4.7 million would go toward the community outreach staff, which Lucas says could also support community action networks. That shit don't work. It's just lining the pockets or some social justice warrior to say, oh, I was out talking to the kids today. Give me $1 million for the year. That's their job. An example would be the Westside Community Action Network, which pairs local residents with a code enforcement officer focused on property maintenance. Yeah, that's going to stop crime. That's going to stop crime.
It is proven fact that cleaner neighborhoods tend to have less crime.
2 police officers and a neighborhood specialist partner to improve the West Side neighborhood. How about you, if you have a house, you fucking keep it clean yourself?
That's what code enforcement's for.
During a recent community meeting, he touted the idea that the entire community has an interest in prevention programs. Like many other law enforcement agencies, the Kansas City Police Department has had to deal with an increase in violent crimes and staff shortages. It just goes on about it. But anyway, like I said, the social justice warriors are boo-hooing that the cops are actually getting more money now because crime's through the roof. I don't know what they thought was going to happen when less cops, more crime. They thought, let's get rid of the cops and we're going to live in Wonka land where everybody's swimming in, I don't know, milk chocolate rivers. And well, they are going to be swimming in milk chocolate rivers because they keep defunding everything, and it's going to be brown and sludgy because it's full of fucking shit. And you can swim in it and think it's milk chocolate. You can even lick it. You might get some corn or something. Fuck, I don't know.
Holy shit.
But it's not going to solve the problem. What, did I just go too nasty for everybody or what? Stop gagging. You'll be all right. Deal with it. Yeah, well, I remember us talking about that, Jared. Jared says, check out articles on homeless camps he allowed in downtown, and that's where all the crimes happening. No, homeless people committing crimes? Come on, Jared. That doesn't happen, does it? No, not homeless people. Homeless people are just,
they need help.
They're victims. They're such victims.
So, moving on. Video shows white cop grab tase unarmed black man.
I pulled that one.
You yanked it?
Yeah. There's not enough video. Since he threw out there, we'll say about where is this at in Florida? I think it's in Florida, right? I believe the video that this cop basically pulls a guy out. I think he tases him, something like that. But it's only from the bad guy's video. They haven't put out the body cam footage, and that's why I changed my mind. I'm going to wait, and it might be too late after other people may talk about it, but they don't have the body cam video out. So, of course, the bad guy's video is only shot a certain way, and it only starts at a certain point. It don't show you the whole thing. Even from that part of it, I already have my opinion that there's 2 type of resistings. I had a discussion with somebody years ago because they're like, oh, they did this and they wasn't even fighting them. I said, hold on a second.
Doesn't matter.
I said, do you know what passive resisting is? And they were like, no. And I explained it to them. I said,
failure to comply.
If I give you an order, I'm like, get out of your vehicle, and you basically refuse to get out your vehicle, and I keep giving you that order to get out of your vehicle, and I have I can lawfully tell you to get out of your vehicle and you refuse, that is resisting arrest. You are now passively resisting me. You're not physically resisting me, but you're passively. So when I go to try to remove you from the vehicle, you pull back. You're not fighting me. You're not hitting me, but you're pulling back against me, still refusing to get out of your vehicle. That's resisting arrest. So I've done tried verbal. Now I tried soft, empty hand, trying to pull you. Now I'm just going to go to the taser or spray, and you keep escalating your use of force. I believe that's what happened here, and they're trying to throw the narrative. Of course, it's a white cop and a black person. So I'm going to wait, and hopefully the body video will come out. But that's just my opinion on it. That's why I just didn't want to play it.
So what's next, boss?
The next one is actually a better one. You can read it.
Florida.
You can read it, and then I'll show the video. It's a Florida highway patrolman was attacked on the side of the road.
Pop up about Ukraine. Don't care. Florida highway patrol trooper attacked on interstate and bypass. Oh yeah, I've seen this. This is all over the internet.
Yes.
Basically, a little punk ass decided he was going to take one right hook jab to the fucking trooper's chin. And as soon as he did, the fight went on. They rolled around the median. And needless to say, the semi-truck drivers and plenty of others ran to the aid of the trooper. And I don't know if you got a picture of Alexander Hernandez del Gato.
I got the video. I was letting you talk about it first.
Yeah, he got lit the fuck up. Yeah, that's what you get, man. Don't fuck around the gunshine state.
My thing is about damn time that instead of people stopping and pulling their fucking phones out so they can try to go viral on something. TikTok,
oh yeah, this ain't New York, brother. We like our cops down here.
The civilians got out and helped the cop instead of just trying to videotape it.
Both northbound and southbound traffic stopped.
But so let's watch the video. It's gonna be video 5. That's not it. Hold on. Let's try this one. Here we go.
Okay, come on, let's go.
Our ramrod.
It's 18-wheeler truck driver stopped right away. Cops got him in a full mount.
Oh yeah, he's riding his ass like a monkey.
Truck driver got out. Cars, and they got another guy. 2 other people come from the opposite lanes over there, and there's 2 more people just showed. Bad guy was like, he was in all kind of crap. Anyway, fuck that dude. He probably didn't get everything he deserved right there.
No, Bam, you can't. That's not fair. The truck driver was just the quickest one to respond. There's about 4 or 5 people on it. These are civilians. I mean, they're all good people. Like I said, this is the South. I hate to tell you, but this ain't New York. This ain't Chicago. You start messing around with somebody wearing a badge around here, there's enough good people that are going to fuck your life up for touching them.
Yeah, it's about damn time, though. I like to see that the general public, civilians, stopped to help this man. He wasn't getting his ass whipped, but it made his job a whole lot easier putting this piece of shit in jail. Like I said, most of the time nowadays, especially in these big cities, all you see is cell phones come out. Nobody helps. They just want to video it and go viral. And that didn't happen, so that was actually a good one right there.
Because we got a great governor like Big Daddy DeSantis.
Is that what you call him, Big Daddy?
Hell yeah.
Or do you just call him Daddy?
I usually call him Governor whenever he calls me.
Or he calls you?
Yeah.
Like
believe it or not.
Like all the time. He's like, oh, Sarah, what's going on?
No, we've talked about 4 times. He's great. Like he's actually a governor that if you send his department like an email, his secretary will show it to him and be like, "You interested in talking to him?" And he'll actually reach out and call people.
Roy said something about some citizen shooting somebody. This next story we're going to go into is from Louisiana. It says one traffic stop led to $4,342 in fines. I said it again, $4,342 in fines. The justice system benefits. Ingrid Hamilton remembers feeling annoyed when the blue lights flashed on Loyola Avenue near New Orleans City Hall. I hadn't gotten a ticket in years, Hamilton said, but she wasn't wearing a seatbelt, so she knew she had to pay the piper. Was that the cop's name, Piper? I don't know. She was surprised to learn that her driver's license had expired. And you know what? I mean, I don't look at my license I got to show it every now and then to get medications or whatever, but because I'm old enough now that I got enough gray and shit in my hair and my beard that I don't get carded for being underage for buying alcohol or anything. But, certain things you got to show your ID. But I know every year around my birthday, I'll pull my driver's license out and I'll look at it just to make sure. Because that's usually when your driver's license expires. It's around your birthday. It don't take much effort.
Yeah, I was driving around on suspended expired tags for about 2 weeks. I was like, oh shit, anyway, my bad.
Her license had expired and her insurance had expired too. Well,
oh shit.
I don't know how you don't know that happened. The fine for those tickets were $647.50 that she couldn't afford. Obviously, she couldn't afford insurance either.
Right.
I'm surprised they didn't tow her car for not being insured. The tickets began a 7-year odyssey during which the fines and fees grew steadily to $4,342.50. So this is on her. I already read it previously. I knew what happened, but this is on this woman. This is this woman's fault. If she'd have went up there, they would have worked with her. Hell, they would have gave her. She could have went and picked up trash on the weekends, done community service for it. Okay, this is on her.
Y'all do that?
What, community service? If you can't afford
to pay off debts?
Oh yeah. If she would have went up there and said, "Look, I really don't have the money to do this," they said, "Fine, come up here, go to such and such Saturday, and you got to do 15 hours of community service. So you can do it over, 5 hours on a time on Saturdays or whatever, picking up trash. You don't have to pay nothing. You got to go pick trash up on side of the road, but it's not going to cost you no money. It's just going to cost you time." Yes, they do.
I'd rather do that. That's awesome.
State law allows courts to assess defendants a 20% surcharge on top of the total unpaid fees as a collection cost. District attorneys can tack on another 20%, while probation and parole can collect 10% more, and the Office of Debt Recovery can assess defendants a 25% surcharge. A trained welder, now she's saying she couldn't afford it. A trained welder, Hamilton was unable to get work.
What?
This right here is the biggest crock of bullshit I've ever heard. If she is a trained, certified welder, she can. There's a shit ton of work.
Absolutely.
For her. Starting making a minimum of like $25, $30 an hour. Okay, so I don't want to hear this, Miss Hamilton. You fucking full of shit. If you're a trained welder, you can find a job if you want a job. She said she was unable to get to work because she couldn't produce a driver's license. That means something with the TWIC card. She probably couldn't go work in a plant. But there's other welding jobs that you don't need to go inside a plant to do that she could have got a job. So she's just full of excuses also. Eventually, she got help from the Justice and Accountability Center of Louisiana to clear the ticket. She got her license back and is working. So she went and cried to some, poor pity me group they have to do it. The Justice and Accountability Center has recently closed 1,796 cases involving 439 people and more than $1 million in fines cost to New Orleans Parish alone. I don't know if they understand the reality that someone living in poverty or in a low-wage job
Look,
if she is a fucking certified welder,
she could go to any mechanic shop, be a certified welder.
She is not poverty. Okay, that is not a low-income job. Low-income job, that's if you flipping burgers. Okay, I'm not trying to be mean. Ain't nothing wrong with it. It's a job. I'm proud of anybody, happy to hear anybody have a job. But if you want to talk about a low-paying job, all right, a minimum wage-paying job, which is McDonald's, Burger King, places like that. Okay, even Walmart, minimum wage job. Yeah, this woman's a fucking welder, and you trying to tell me she's got a low-paying job? I know for a fact that that's bullshit.
Hey, Aaron.
It says, and they received these fines and fees. Pulling up another case at random, she pointed to the cost of a jury fee. Jurors are not seated for traffic cases, and charges for building security along with other costs that raise the traffic fines to a point that the client would have to work 63.3 hours to pay off the debt. Okay, and anyway, he goes on, blah, 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 blah.
She's just a crybaby bitch.
She's a crybaby.
She can afford to pay it.
I didn't pay my tickets, and then, bitch, 7 years.
She was fine with it as long as she got away with it.
7 years. I'd like to get a big cup, a big cup. I wish I had a big bowl right here, and I'd put a spoon in it, and I'd look at Miss Hamilton and scoop in here and say, "Open your mouth, Miss Hamilton, because here's a big spoonful of shut the fuck up in your crying ass. Get back to work, bitch, because I don't want to hear it. Fuck you." That's really loud. Really loud. That is my hot nut story. I don't like that bitch. That's my hot nut right there is the fucking bitch. Alabama woman.
We're not going to read this because this woman doesn't need any kind of attention, but I will go through it shortly. Alabama woman accused of shooting heroin while giving birth. Baby died shortly thereafter. So basically, she was in pain while she was having the baby, and instead of asking for, normal fucking meds, she shoots a needle into her fucking arm midway and loses the kid. She's a loser piece of shit. Yeah. That's amazing.
She looks like a fucking elf.
She does look like an elf, but I think an elf would be more attractive, like pointier ears and stuff.
I don't know. Has the picture popped up for you yet?
She looks more like a troll. I'm looking straight at the story.
Oh, well, if y'all can see her, she's I don't know. This bitch here. You gonna fucking shoot dope?
She has other children, but they're not in her custody.
She was probably shooting dope the whole entire time she was pregnant with that child. So
I don't know where this is, but they're actually looking at the toxicology report now to see if they can charge her with murder.
Well, it should be murder.
Yeah, because the baby was able to take a breath. It was midway through the process.
But you can see her up here. This fucking bitch. And I'm probably going to say some stuff that probably might piss some people off right here or might hurt some feelings, but this is how I feel. If she'd been using drugs the whole entire time she was pregnant and she was giving birth to this child, it's sad to say this child might be better off where it's at now than living and trying to deal with the effects of the amount of drugs she was probably pumping in this little system the entire time she was pregnant.
That's so sad to see, too. I don't know if you've ever been to the NICU, where basically it's narcotics unit for like newborn babies they get the shakes and everything.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
like what a way to come into a world.
Yeah, I mean, this child might have had some type of mental disorders, brain damage. Like I said, it's sad to say, and I ain't trying to be mean about it, but the child's probably better off.
It's an honest fact.
So
sad.
It's sad, but it's the truth. This next one is out of Texas. This is another one you don't have. I didn't do that on purpose. It just happened to be I was a couple short. I think I sent it to you. I texted it to you.
Oh, is that one of them?
Yeah. This one's out of Texas. A constable is coming under attack because he He's actually doing a damn good job. He's coming under attack as he refuses to back down because he is sharing arrest photos of the criminals on social media. Montgomery County, Texas. A constable from Texas had found himself on the hot seat after critics have voiced complaints that he and his office are posting pictures of those they arrest on social media. While the constable has not only admitted to this being true, he also points out that it is illegal for him to do so. Montgomery County Precinct 5 Constable Office has a public Facebook account, and most law enforcement agencies do. The webpage has roughly 6,400 users who get to see the constable's office in action every day, proving that they are spending their well-earned tax dollars wisely. While some are happy with keeping track of the deputies, some took issue when they saw a middle-aged woman sitting handcuffed in the backseat of a patrol vehicle. Okay, I mean, obviously she must have broke the law or had warrants. The woman had been detained by deputies for allegedly having possession of a controlled substance, which is a crime in the state of Texas if the person has no prescription. One of those who complained was a retired police commander, Jay Coons. Coons believed that the photograph was nothing more than unnecessary and served no legitimate purpose. Well,
Have these people ever heard of Grady Judd?
Who are you, Mr. Coon? Are you important, or do you think you're important? And retired police commander. I don't see a legitimate public service or public interest served by a law enforcement agency putting this out there and humiliating people just because they can. It's kind of like live PD. When you're out in public like that, you don't have any expectation of privacy. Okay, I mean, what's the difference when people running around videotaping us and shoving cameras in the cops' faces and shit like that? There's nothing we can do about it. It's totally legal for them to do it.
Like I'm getting at, it's like Grady Judd does it all the time.
What's a little bit tit for tat? What was it?
Test. What?
I can hear you.
No, I can see the soundboard.
Montgomery County, he's readily denounced that the photographs were in any way simply to embarrass those who have been arrested. Instead, Constable Jones said that he believed the photographs were necessary to show the community that the agency was transparent. Right now, law enforcement has a lot of scrutiny going on about what we do out there, so we're wide open about what we do. I believe it's a way of letting the public know that we're out there taking care of business and what we're doing out there on a daily basis and what we are having to deal with as law enforcement. We want people to know we're making arrests. We want people to know that we're out there trying to clean up our streets, trying to get drugs off the streets. Constable Jones also claims that the photographs that are posted on social media are not simply booking photos, but they are pictures of people whose criminal charges have been accepted by prosecutors. He also noted that each photograph they released has the notice that everyone pictured in it is innocent until proven guilty. Coons agreed that the photographs that are being shared are public knowledge, therefore not illegal. However, he believes just because a law enforcement agency can do something, that does not mean it should. Go, Coons, you go shut the fuck up.
Yeah, like Dan. In the Middle East, they like stone you to death in the middle of public.
There's a difference what we're in law enforcement authorized to do by law and what we ought to be doing. Despite complaints by Coons and others, Constable Jones has no intention of removing the photograph, good for you, from his agency's social media feeds. However, he does note that if any alleged criminal has their criminal record expunged, they will remove the photographs. Additional, Constable Jones alleges that his office is yet to receive any type of complaint, rather praise from those that see his agency doing the work. This Mr. Coons, man, you know what I'm betting? You know what I'm betting? You hear me?
He's a liberal.
Nope.
He's been arrested before and his picture's been aired.
Nope. Mr. Coons is a retired police commander. What do retired police commanders and chiefs and sheriffs do once they retire?
Drugs.
No, they run for constable and marshal's office jobs. I think Mr. Coons going to try to run against this guy, and he's trying to smear his ass out there so when he runs against him, maybe give him a little bit better chance, which I think is going to backfire on him. I think that's what's going on right there, because other than that, I don't understand. What's up, JoJo? We showed your kangaroo pictures at the beginning of the podcast.
Yeah, we do. I'm going to jump in their pouch. They need hugs.
Coons needs to worry about his golf game. Yeah, I'm telling you, I'm telling you, Coons is doing this shit because I think he's going to make a run for office. I think he's going to run for office. Other than that, there's no reason. Why would he give a flying fuck about it? And he's sticking his nose in it. I'm telling you, he's going to run.
Yeah, he's got something to do with it.
One last story. We're going to close this shit show out for the evening.
Ooh, I can go home and eat.
I'm guessing the stream's been okay tonight.
It actually has. It ain't glitched on me.
It didn't start out like that. The last story is, I'm going to let you read it, but it's the one I texted you, the St. Louis top prosecutor.
I see it.
Okay.
St. Louis top prosecutor declines charges against armed suspect attempted carjacking of marked police SUV. The fuck? Yeah, that's interesting. St. Louis, Missouri, of course. According to a report from Fox News, prosecutors in St. Louis have declined to file charges against a man who had allegedly attempted to carjack a marked police SUV while two officers were sitting inside. Wow. The St. Louis Metropolitan Police Department sought charges of first-degree robbery, armed criminal action, and resisting arrest against a 27-year-old suspect who is being accused of carrying out an alleged carjack. There we go with that word, alleged now, everybody. However, Avita Caldwell, a spokeswoman for the police, announced the St. Louis Circuit Attorney has refused to file charges. Caldwell referred all additional questions to the Circuit Attorney's office. Allison Hawk, a spokeswoman for the Circuit Attorney's office, spoke that the case is still under investigation, but still declined to answer whether charges were filed or not yet. According to authorities, officers responded to reports of shots fired around 3 a.m. in the morning on March 19th in the city. The officers in the marked police SUV. I'm going to take a pause right there. If me and you were in a car together in a marked unit responding to an active shots fired and somebody tried to drag us out of our vehicle,
there's going to be some lead put down range somewhere.
Thank you, because you're automatically at a heightened alert level.
Yeah.
So let's see. The officers inside the marked police SUV said that a man stepped in front of their car as it was moving. And then the man stood next to the passenger's window while pointing a gun at the officers. Yeah, he would have fucking died.
I don't know why they just didn't unload.
Oh my God!
The
officers
what
were
did Grady
able to
Judd
maneuver.
say? Why'd y'all only shoot him 900 times? Because we didn't have 900.
Because we ran out of bullets.
Ran out of bullets.
The officers were able to maneuver out of harm's way while the suspect simultaneously discovered he was attempting to carjack a fully marked police vehicle. Oh God! According to the officers, so that's the guy's defense. I didn't know I was carjacking the cops. According to the officer, because that makes it all right. According to officers, once the man realized it was a police vehicle, he ran off. The two officers then called dispatch to provide a description of the man. The suspect was apprehended in a parking lot of a nearby restaurant. Wow. Police stated that no one was injured during the initial incident or the apprehension of 27-year-old suspects. I don't know if these two officers need a medal or if they deserve to be fired. I'm kind of up in the air.
I don't know. I don't know why they didn't. Well, except we wasn't there. I don't like armchair quarterbacking people too much, but I don't see why this dude didn't catch no bullets. He ought to be happy because you right there, and he should be on a T-shirt right now saying R.I.P. Rip. Really good for him. So hey, guess this was his lucky day. He didn't die.
Right. Like JoJo says, I agree, JoJo. He's a super wanker.
He's a
fucking knobhead.
All righty. Let's get this voting going. Let's say.
Guy that tried to steal the cop car.
Okay, that's you. We got one for him. And I'm voting for the traffic stop lady that decided to let her fines go up to almost $5,000 and then cry about it because she's a dumb wanker herself. We got it's not really hot nuts when you're beating up old people that we talked about. So I'm not going to do that. What about, we got the convicted felon guy, the guy with the stealing a baseball bat out of Walmart. They tried to hit the cop in the head with it. We got the poor guy that shot his police officer girlfriend and baby mama, the mother of his child, in head, and now he's crying about his problem with not getting the fair stuff in jail. We got the people crying that the cops are getting money back. We got the woman that killed her child, and the constable that's being saying, please no, stop putting pictures of us up. So what we got. So Aaron says he's abstaining because he he wasn't here for all of it. Melissa said the cop car dude, we know why she's just voting for that because I think she likes Holstera. Anastasia says cop car guy because that's the only story he heard or she heard. And JoJo said,
I know.
Walker.
She said that.
Right.
I said wanker correctly.
Oh.
Asshole wanker.
Lazy ticket lady. Dance with me. I think we may be getting beat out. I don't know. Anybody else voting?
You gotta admit, walking up to a marked police unit, shoving a gun in the window, going, "Get the fuck out of my car."
Well, I'm getting ready to say a word you ain't supposed to say. I'm gonna say the R word. That dude's fucking. That dude's fucking retarded. I'm sorry. I mean, there ain't no other word for it.
And then his defense is, "Hey, I didn't know it was a cop car."
Yeah, was it a marked unit? Did it have bar lights on top of it? I'm pretty sure it did.
That's what they said.
All right, well, I ain't getting no more votes in, so I guess man tries to steal cop car is gonna wins the hot nut of this one right here. Uh-oh. And for some reason, it's not pulling up my hot nut video. So, we're just not going to be able to play it.
Okay.
I don't know. We can't play it. It's saying it's not found. I don't know what the hell. All right. We got another. Joe says, cop car guy. Anyway, the cop car guy definitely got the hot nuts, thing, even though I can't play it. And I just redid it too. I'm upset. I changed the music and everything and added more stuff to it.
It wouldn't be our podcast if everything worked out properly.
You are correct about that one. For the y'all that got to jump in yesterday, like I said, that happens sometimes. I was in here working on stuff and I had all these Louisiana stories and I decided what the hell and jumped on here and put out an extra one.
We all know it wasn't as entertaining without all the random facts.
It was more entertaining. I actually got like 450,000 emails saying thank you for no random facts.
Hey, did you know the fortune cookie was invented in San Francisco? It's not actually Chinese.
Okay. I did see Bruce Leroy where he was looking for Confucius and it was just a machine spitting out the stuff. I saw the movie. Bruce Leroy. I think that's right.
I played the video game Bruce Leroy. That was funny shit. The wheelbarrow was invented in China.
All right, everybody.
Y'all have a beautiful night. Thank you for joining us. And go ahead and hit them with your outro.
Yep. Everybody be safe. Watch your back. Watch your partner's back. And remember to always smile because Iceman can always be behind you.